Mr. Sawiris, you were heavily involved in bankrolling the ouster of President Morsi, and sure, it is true that many Egyptians say they long for stability, and many say they'll vote for this constitution. But equally, many are incredibly pessimistic and disappointed at the way these last 6 months have unfolded, with increasing autocratic tendencies. What is your reaction today about where your money has been spent?
First, I would like to say I did not bankroll the opposition against Mr. Morsi. I supported Tamarrud with my party. We have the Free Egyptian Party that stood behind Tamarrud, offered its logistical support. All our, let's say, premises were used. We collected signatures for them. That's all what we did, you know. As far as what's going on now, we will have to repeat what we said before. The June 30th movement was a popular movement against a dictator who decided to turn Egypt into a religious state, someone who has opened the jails for all the terrorists who killed Sadat and lynched the tourists in Luxor. That was the popular movement. After that, we decided to go on a roadmap. The first step was today, which was to vote for a constitution that reflects all Egyptians, not only religious, not Muslims, not Christians, but everybody equally. And that's what we did today. It was a festival. Everybody went, was in very upside mood. Everybody was happy. It went very well. It was well organized and well secured. The people who are upset are the minority who have boycotted this constitution.
Yeah, you call them the minority, but I have to say, depending on numbers, who can tell the numbers, but certainly what's been coming out of Egypt has been troubling for many Egyptians who supported even the ouster of President Morsi and now feel that they have simply had to endure a rising autocracy. Many Egyptians feel that despite some of the positive aspects of this new constitution, that it is one that enshrines the power of what we're seeing to be a very heavy-handed military in terms of cracking down on anybody and anything that disagrees with them.
I think, I don't know where you get your sources of information, but, you know...
Well, Mr. Sawiris, 3 of my colleagues are in jail.
Here, you know.
3 of my colleagues are in jail for doing their job. As you know very well, there are 3 journalists, at least right now, for international organizations, including a former CNN, who are accused of terrorism, and this is simply being thrown out to tar anybody who disagrees. So my question remains, do you see a possibility
do they have
for
a valid
this kind of autocracy to end?
In Egypt here?
Oh, yes, they do. Mr. Sawiris, yes, of course
Sorry.
they do. My question to you is this going to continue this way?
You are referring to Al Jazeera members? Are you referring to Al Jazeera delegates in Cairo here?
Mr. Sawiris, I'm referring to journalists who've been arrested
Yes.
because of the work that they're doing and the opinions that they either express or not, but they're considered enemies of the state. This is a bigger problem, which I'm trying to get you to answer.
That's not the information I have. That's not the information I have. The information I have is that they were working without a permit. In any country, when you go as a correspondent, you need to get a valid permit. That's the information I have.
Mr. Sawiris, you can claim that, but I happen to know also how this works. And any time a journalist is in trouble, specious allegations are made against them, such as they don't have a permit. Let us move beyond the technicalities, because they're sitting in jail right now. Do you think that it would show a positive aspect towards what your military and what you are saying, you want a democratic Egypt, at least to release these people, before we discuss the bigger issues?
No, I agree with you, but I mean, I would invite you to watch Al Jazeera. They're doing an incitement trip against Egypt. They're falsifying facts, they're making up stories, and they're acting to disturb. All Egyptians are really shocked at the lowliness of the level of the Al Jazeera that has gone to. So, I mean, it's not like these people are like you trying to be correct or issue statements or show the truth. You know, they're just going out fabricating stories, and the minimum they should have done is getting a permit for that. That's all. You know.
Well, these are allegations that they've obviously denied, and we deny it for on behalf of our colleagues as well. But let me just please get to the point of this, and that is, This constitution, as I say, has been drawn up. Many believe that it enshrines the power of the military over the rights of society and indeed over the rights of the civilian part of the state. Are you concerned, for instance, today, somebody who slaps up a no poster, in other words, calling for a no vote, can go to jail? Many liberals, many others are being jailed simply for disagreeing. What is going to change, Mr. Sawiris, after this constitution is voted?
First of all, I don't agree to any of that.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I don't agree to anybody being jailed for saying no. Okay. But the fact is that we have a new law here in Egypt for demonstrations, for putting stickers. You need to get also, again, a permission to go on demonstration. This is not only Egypt, this is around the whole world. If you want to go and demonstrate in front of Wall Street in New York, you will have to go to the police and ask for permission. If you decide to ignore the law and go on your own and do a demonstration, then you're breaking the law, as simple as that.
All right, Mr. Sawiris. What is your view of how democracy is actually going to emerge from what is right now a very heavy-handed, all-encompassing military rule? Let me just read you something. Maybe I can get you to react to this. Many who supported democracy, and many of them who perhaps supported even the ouster of President Morsi, are very, very depressed. One columnist says to a colleague today, "I write to you on the last day of this dismal year, 2013, when the dreams of Egyptians for a civil state that would bring freedom, dignity and social justice turned into nightmares. We now live in the shadow of a regime that is martial in its head, repressive in its arms, civilian in its skin, granting freedom only to those who applaud it, who applaud the regime." What is your reaction to that?
I think, look, Mr. Abdulpour, I want to tell you something. I mean, people were, after the outsetting, Mr. Morsi was ousted by the people, we were confronted with a wave of terror acts, lynching of Egyptian soldiers, 21 soldiers twice, the bombing of a police station, killing innocent people, shooting people and bombing premises. Today we had a bomb in front of a court, you know. So the Egyptian people are upset and mad and furious at this terror reaction of the Muslim Brotherhood. So don't expect that the people are not angels, they're not prophets, you know. People are alienated that this is the reaction. Instead of them going and becoming a political party and working in the light and accepting to reconcile and working as a decent political party, they've tended to go back to their roots, which is terror, bombing and killing. So don't expect people to sit calm and to say that we are facing an autocratic. No, people are upset and they're and it's reflected in their behavior. I am the first one to defend the rights of any Muslim Brotherhood who wants to express his right in a legal manner, not under resorting to terror or bombing or frightening people or threatening people who will go to vote today.
Mr. Sawiris says, you know, 17 people were killed just a few days ago. Hundreds were killed during the ouster of President Morsi. And indeed, there are many who are very concerned that outlawing the Muslim Brotherhood, in other words, deeming them a terrorist organization, could have a severe backlash, could simply act as an incubator for more terrorism and launch what in fact happened in the past, the Al-Qaeda organization. Are you concerned? You say you welcome any Muslim Brotherhood to express their views. They're actually outlawed now by the military. Are you concerned that this could have a backlash and that the divisions in Egypt are being hardened?
Listen, ma'am, first of all, we used to have very peaceful demonstrations. Suddenly, the demonstrators were starting to use weapons and shoot at the police, and we don't know who kills who in the end, because when you have a demonstration where the demonstrators are shooting at the police, there's nothing to expect from the police except to defend themselves. Let me tell you, I'm not concerned, because I don't know if you've read this telephone conversation between Dr. Morsi and Ayman al-Zawahiri, Al-Qaeda leader, where they're complotting and making plans to how to help Al-Qaeda in its bigger vision of Islamicification of the region and how to release the criminals out of the prisons. You know, you're welcome. You have your own security forces who can check these tapes and see the verification of this. So they started with terror and terrorism, and that's why the reaction came to outlaw them It's not the other way around.
Mr. Saoirse, those are incredibly harsh accusations. There has been absolutely no evidence of what you suggest of those conversations. Sadly, we have run out of time and we have to end this conversation. I'm sorry we had technical difficulties at the beginning, but thank you very much for joining us and we hope to talk to you again.